Here we have the Kyosho Outlaw Rampage Pro kit. This one's a little old. I got it brand new and put a brushless system in it and beat it up and had to replace the transmission gears already. The stock beadlock wheels are kind of weak, and because I used it with the brushless system first, I made the bead pretty much impossible to be held by those stock wheels. They're not very strong, so I don't recommend brushless wheels. I'm sorry, brushless system if you're using the stock wheels. Brushless wheels. But yeah, so in my pursuit to find a set of beadlocks that would work, I tried out these Element Method ones, but they're just a little weaker than this application calls for. Basically, they can't handle like hard sideways impacts, so that's why that one broke. You can see that this is rickety. The engine's shot. I'm gonna replace it. It's the same thing, just a cheapo. I had the nice Spectrum one, but it burnt out, so yeah, I've just been running this truck until things break, and we just go as we are. I found that these wheels were much too grippy, so that's why I wanted to go back to the stock tires, but I needed to find a pair of rims that would hold them, so I found these Vanquished Incision ones, and they've got 8 screws instead of the typical 5 or 6, so I'm gonna go ahead and swap those. It should work good. But before I get the rest of the wheels on, I want to replace the motor, and I'll show you guys a little trick that my buddy Anthony showed me. Shout out to Anthony for that. So let's look at that. So the first thing is to put a little bead of grease around this transmission cover. It just helps keep dust out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the motor and show you guys the other trick. So this is one of those examples where if you try to solve one problem, it creates another. So the trick here is if you just get a piece of spare Lexan that you have and you cut it to the diameter of the motor and make it so that the holes line up. If you put this in front of the motor and you install it, it prevents the motor from sucking the dirt right through into the transmission. And the problem that creates is that all the dust stays in the motor. So this one's pretty eaten up. You can just feel how gritty it is. It's just absolutely filthy in there. You can't really see on the camera, but it's gross. So I figured I knew this was going to happen. So that's why I grabbed a second motor. So I'll get the spur gear off this. I'm sorry, pinion gear. Should probably check the spur gear actually. Spur gear looks good. Yeah, I was finding that the gears were getting chewed up the gears were getting chewed up before I put this cover on there. But now that the cover on there, the motor's getting shot, so you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. But let's get this new motor in there. Alright, so I decided to not go with the traditional connector. I went with the XT60 just because the old connectors that were on the other motor were a little burnt and the wires on the new ones weren't long enough, so I decided to use the old wires and the new connector, the new motor. It seems to work. I think the wire placement works out well. That fits in there nicely. So let's get this last wheel on there and then see if we can catch the last of the daylight. Get this thing tested out with these new wheels. See how they hold up with the tires. So I'm going to go ahead and put the body on. I'll get the other two spare wheels built later. Just figure we, like I said, catch the last of the daylight. Alright. So, it's a beautiful night out. Be nice for some nitro. But, yeah, let's get this out. I did not break in the new motor. I don't know about all that. So this is, like I said, nothing crazy here with this truck. A brushless system will be too much for it. I gotta move my chickens. I'm gonna have to break out some Roundup. The camera does a pretty good job of picking up the daylight. I think it's brighter on the camera than it is out here in real life. It's nice to have the stock tires back. It's probably not something you thought you'd hear, but I kind of like them. Yeah, it's really getting dark now. I'm gonna stop recording and try to enjoy the last few minutes of this daylight here. But yeah, it's a fun truck. Sure looks good when it's moving. I'm gonna do another body on this one. I think a brighter color would do it more justice. I cut the rear fenders off of this body because they came apart from the rear retainers to the cage there. So the rear panels were just flapping around. So I can definitely say that the motor's been broken in. I think the tires do this truck well. Like I said, these tires are just too grippy. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these other tires put together, slap them on the back here. That looks a lot better with matching spare wheels. I'm definitely gonna get another body. I'll keep this one for bashing though. I'm gonna have to get another Sask sticker. But yeah, they held up. It was definitely not babying it. So those 8 screws are what's needed to hold that tire bead in place. But yeah, that's all for now for this vehicle. Now I can test it and practice, get ready to race Anthony. Hopefully Joe gets one by the end of the summer, and all 3 of us can race. You should check out Anthony's accounts on YouTube and Instagram. He's got a lot of cool RC stuff, namely this. So Kyosho definitely did a good job here. I'll show my other one sometime soon. I'm not satisfied with how it came out. I'm gonna make some changes on it. So yeah. If you don't have one of these, definitely recommend. It's not something that will be used often, but it's fun when it is used. This one is used and abused. It started off, like I said, with a brushless system, and I've just been using it ever since. I haven't really changed anything other than the transmission gears and the motor and stuff. But if you look, you can just see how janky all the joints are. I don't even think the plastic is still in there. The pivot ball, yeah, it looks like it's completely worn out. It might still be there, but it's like that throughout. And the front shocks come on and off the tower. So sometimes I'll have to go over and replace that when it's running. Notice it when the front end's just kind of dragging. But yeah, nothing too crazy here. Stay tuned. We'll be racing with Anthony soon. Probably try to make a YouTube series or video of our race series. That's all I got.